Hey guys, Smiley's here, bringing you an OU battle that I had earlier today with a team that actually was featured on one of my earlier live sessions, with a slight change. I actually switched out the Expert Belt Latios with a specially defensive Latias, mainly to take hits from that pesky Rotowash that he has on his team, as it resists its dual stab, and really it just can't do anything to it. Looking at his team here, nothing really threatens my team directly. The Rotowash would have threatened my other team, but now that I have Latias, I really don't see any major threats on his team. Maybe if his Gyarados, Latias, or Salamence or something was able to set up somehow, it would be, but I really don't see this team threatening my team. But this turns out to be a great battle, as you will see right about now. So he leads off with his Heatran, and I lead off with Mamoswine. And that's great for me, except for the fact that he has an air balloon, which prevents me from just going straight for the Earthquake and doing a lot of damage to this. So, first turn is just as many Pokemon battles first turns are, getting up Stealth Rocks. Second turn, he goes for Lava Plume, as I switch into Jellicent, knowing that Jellicent can take really anything Heatran wants to dish out. Unfortunately, he does get the burn, which will limit Jellicent's survivability, and that will be a problem, as Jellicent does counter a couple things on his team. I just go for the straight Scald, as he switches into Rotowash, which can counter Jellicent easily. He decides to Volt Switch as I go into Latias to do its job. He goes into Scissor, which threatens out my Latias with Bullet Punch or U-Turn or whatever. So I go into Jellicent, and unfortunately it's not going to be able to take repeated hits from his team now that it's so low HP, and I'm forced to sacrifice it here, not wanting anything else to take a hit from this Salamence. Now after my Jellicent goes down, I'm able to bring in Mamoswine and threaten this thing out with an Ice Shard. But instead of going for the Ice Shard, I actually predict a Rotowash to come in and go for Superpower. But he brings in Scissor here. I don't know why, because Rotowash is a good counter to Mamoswine. It can really take any hit from it. And the Superpower does 57% to Scissor, and that comes into play later in the match. So the only thing I really have left to take hits from this Scissor is my own Scissor. And unfortunately he gets a critical hit, but it really doesn't matter too much, as this Scissor doesn't really threaten his team. Now I decide to just U-turn out, and he brings in his Gyarados. So I bring in my Thundurus to threaten out the Gyarados. And I should have really seen this next play coming. He goes in a Latias, and I decide to go for the Thunderbolt. But to be honest, I should have gone for the HP Ice, and you will see why in about this turn. So he goes for the Roost, right? And I go for the HP Ice, and it is over half to this Latias. If I had predicted it and used the Hidden Power Ice, I would have gotten it down to like 30% or so, and that would have changed this series of plays. Now, I totally forget about Calm Mind, and I go for Agility, thinking, well, if I'm faster than him, he can't really Roost on me, because I'll just go for Roost. Yes, Roost, no. Hidden Power Ice, and do over half consistently. But he just finishes me off with a Dragon Pulse after that. But I thought he would Roost, but he didn't. So I'm able to bring in Mamoswine and finish the thing off with an Ice Shard. Now he brings in Gyarados, and I know I can't finish it off with an Ice Shard, especially after the attack drop from the Intimidate. So I'm forced to go into Scissor, sacking it, knowing that it's not really going to be too useful for the rest of the match. This allows me to bring in Terrakion and threaten his team with a Stone Edge. And he does the smart play and just sacrifices his Gyarados here. Now he brings in Scissor, and I don't want this Terrakion taking a Bullet Punch. I need it alive if I want any chance of winning this battle. So I'm forced to sacrifice the least useful member of this team. Well, team left, Latias. And it's obviously not going to be able to take two Bullet Punches, and it goes down. But since the Superpower did so much to it earlier, I am able to use Ice Shard, and even though it is resisted, it is still able to take it out at the range of HP that Scissor was at. Now he does a weird play here and brings in Heatran, and I don't know why he did that, because Rotom seems like the much better play here. Superpower is able to take it out. And this pretty much gave me the game, because I can just sacrifice my Mamoswine, and bring in Terrakion. And as long as I hit my stone edges, I basically win this game. So I'm able to hit my first stone edge, knocking out the Rotowash, and luckily I am able to outspeed the Salamence and finish that off with a second stone edge. Knowing my luck, I thought I was actually going to miss that, but luckily I did not. So that was a great game. If you enjoyed this battle, please leave a like rating, comment with any opinions or suggestions you may have, and subscribe if you like. Guys, that's it for me. Peace out and have an excellent day.